Alright, today we're going to talk about 10 gauge shotguns. What's going to cost for you to get one, what one's going to work for you. This is a New England Firearms Pardner model 10 gauge. It's the 24-inch barrel, full choke, basically all around gun. Good for turkeys, good for geese, ducks. You could put buckshot in if you wanted to hunt some bigger game. Like woodland deer or something like that. That's not going to get you out too far in yardage. You're probably not going to want to shoot much over 40 yards. We did do some pairing with turkey load against a 12 gauge, and a 12 gauge 3.5 inch extra full is about the same as this 10 gauge at 3.5 inches at just regular full. It's going to put the same amount of BBs in the same area. You're probably going to have a little bit more knockdown power, and you're obviously going to have a little bigger spread than the extra full choke. It's obviously going to be better than a 12 gauge with a full choke. But yeah, you're going to have to pay a lot more for ammo, things like that. So it all depends on what you want to do, if it's worth it for you. Single shot, this thing ran me just over $100, but that was a few years ago, so that that's probably quite a bit more now. You can get the 28-inch barrel, I believe, with full or extra full choke with a black synthetic stock. I think you're probably going to be about $200 for that. I'd still have a single shot, but I just priced out a 10 gauge pump action at like $530 or $550. So that getting up a little bit there, but a good 12 gauge will probably run you that anyway. If you want something semi-auto, you're probably going to be like $1,300. So it all depends on what you want. It's going to cost you a lot more in ammo for a semi-automatic too, because you're probably going to shoot it a lot more. So these things are running $20-25 a box for cheap load, and you could be $35 for something you're going to want to hunt with. So that's not even buckshot or slugs. That's just for ducks. This one here I've shot a number of times. It works excellent. You can see the shell difference here. This is a 3.5 inch 10 gauge double-aught buck, and that is a deer slug, 2 3/4 inch. You can obviously get 3.5 inch shells if your gun will shoot it. You can kind of see the difference in diameter there. The 10 gauge diameter is a little bit bigger, which means it's going to pack quite a bit more punch because it can fit that much more powder. The bigger the diameter, you jump up your volume of powder quite a bit. So it does kick like a moose. I got a butt pad here that doesn't really do a whole lot. It looks like it might, but it doesn't. So you got to think about that too. If you're a smaller frame or you're going to shoot this thing for fun, it might not be that fun after a while. It really does the job though. Obviously it's a break action. Single shot, you'll never have a problem with it, so that's kind of a bonus too. You're never going to have to work on it as long as you keep it oiled. You're going to have a gun that's going to last you forever. So that's nice. If you want to get the single shot, you're going to save a lot in price. It's a lot of fun to shoot. You hand it to somebody and say, here, try this, and see their reaction after they fire it. It's kind of a interesting combo. We have shot it at clays before, skeet shooting just for fun. It's just something fun to screw around with for the price. Yeah, we have gotten a lot of fun out of it. So something to think about when you're making that purchase, if that's something you're looking at getting. A lot of people just like to put that money into a better 12 gauge. Just use that because everything's going to work. A lot of guys I know, they go duck hunting every year with a 20 gauge and do just fine. So you don't necessarily need it. It's just if it's something you want to do for fun, that might be kind of nice to have.